New gun privileges for retired cops, but not you. Trump-Biden polling updates, and a possible remedy for the dangerous COVID shot. This is The Loaded Mic. I'm danwos. Recently, in a vote in the House of Representatives, which granted police officers nationwide concealed carry privileges. Now, the bill is called H.R. 354, otherwise known as the Law Enforcement Safety Act, or LOESA Reform Act of 2024. Now, this new government-issued gun privilege awarded to active and retired law enforcement officers grants them the freedom to carry a firearm in places like school zones, national parks, and state, local, or private property open to the public. Now, it also includes certain federal facilities that are accessible to the public. Now, the bill also widely expands the ability for certain law enforcement officers to cross state lines with concealed carry firearms and reduces the frequency of which retired law enforcement would need to requalify in order to meet certain standards. Is this a move in the right direction, or is this a slap in the face to gun owners across the country? Was this bill introduced under the assumption that police officers, active or retired, are better trained than the average gun owner? Because that's certainly debatable. Many would argue that this bill was created, introduced, and sponsored because crime has gotten out of control throughout America, and due to left-wing disrespect and defunding of police, politicians are finding themselves in a precarious situation of their own making. In what might appear to be an attempt at controlling some of the violence created by irresponsible left-wing policies, the bureaucrats behind H.R. 354 have neglected the rights of all to allow privileges to some. But that's not all. It would appear that the bill also acts in part to address the obvious and deadly results of the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act without actually changing the irresponsible law itself. Now, Joe Biden introduced that 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act as part of the Crime Control Act. And since he introduced it and it was signed into law, school killings have doubled and increased at twice the rate of increase every 10 years. H.R. 354 would now allow active and retired police officers to carry on school campuses. This doesn't change the law and therefore still prohibits civilian concealed carriers from doing the same. So even though you may have more training than a retired police officer and you may have more will to protect children in schools than someone like Scott Peterson, an armed school resource officer at Parkland who did nothing to save lives, you're still restricted from possessing a firearm on school campuses. Now, all gun laws are unconstitutional and all should be abolished. This particular one sets a dangerous tone and pits law enforcement gun owners against private citizen gun owners in a way that supports acceptance for unconstitutional gun laws. So ask yourself, if current and retired law enforcement officers will have a problem with this bill? The answer is probably no, which emboldens legislators with the power of taking away rights and giving them back in bits and pieces as government-issued privileges. Now ask yourself how private gun owners would react if those same bureaucrats decided to extend this new government-issued privilege to them. Would they denounce it in its entirety, push to remove the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act altogether and all gun-free zones, or would it be accepted and considered a win? Should gun owners accept this special treatment bill or demand constitutional carry for all? Now, stealing rights from American citizens through unconstitutional gun laws and then rewarding some with the privilege of avoiding those laws in exchange for their support is kind of like starving your dog and then giving them a treat for rolling over. Thanks for watching this clip. There's more where that came from, and we appreciate every like, every follow, and every share. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll bring you more.